reason in the area I live in where it's a whole bunch of trees and stuff, I don't know if these people updated their phone lines for, the internet and stuff. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm about to get ready to make some moves, but I wanted to do a stream basically shedding some light on a lot of lies that's been told over the past few days that people like to take something and run with. And like I told you, man, it's sad how, like I said, when you see how black people love to tear down other black people and, basically put down other black people. And that's one of the reasons why I'm gonna continue to go in on Message Boy, Leonard Ellerbe, and those flunkies, those Al Heyman flunkies, because that's pretty much what they are. First of all, Leonard Ellerbe is a damn lie. And I'm going on record to say Leonard Ellerbe is a damn lie. And whoever reported that the fight did 50,000 pay-per-views is a damn lie. Because DAZN, for the most part, don't even release their pay-per-view numbers because they are a privately owned company. So this stuff about, well, it did 50,000 according to my sources, you a damn lie. It was very successful by today's pay-per-view standards. Devin Haney versus Regis Prograde did very well, and I'm going to leave it at that. But like I said before, you just had Leonard Ellerbe being Leonard Ellerbe. Anybody that he sees that can be a threat to, Tank Davis as far as popularity, then eventually, when it comes to money, purses, and other things, other endeavors pertaining to boxing, that's what he does. Like I said before, you guys want to play that pro-black card, you need to play that with the PBC, because they the ones that don't believe in matching up black fighters versus black fighters. And they'll do whatever it takes not to do outside fights unless it's absolutely necessary. That's why they don't go to purse bids. That's why they don't like to do purse bids. And if it is an offer, they'll talk their fighter out of it. Don't they have a history of doing this stuff? Now, let me come with some facts. First of all, the $20 million offer, for people saying it is a bunk deal, it's a fake deal. Once again, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And you got content creators basically perpetrating lies and putting out falsehoods and fake narratives, because at the end of the day, some of them may not be fun to Bill Haney for whatever reason. So at the end of the day, they're going to attack Bill Haney. They're going to attack Eddie Hearn. They're going to attack DAZN, because some of these dudes are PBC apologists through in and throughout. First of all, let's get some facts straight. You're not going to make the same amount for every fight in every fight. The amount of money is always going to be different. It really comes down to who you're fighting. Now, at the end of the day, if Tank isn't about fighting the best fights out there where Devin Haney is, if he's saying he's looking for the best fight that can bring him the most money without taking the most chance, just say so. But when you come up with this BS about he can't sell tickets and all that kind of stuff, and I heard 7-8 briefly talking about his stream, talking about it on his stream, saying that basically people were saying the fight wasn't sold out who didn't even set foot there. I was there. The place was packed. They sold 9,000 tickets the first week. But as the fight, as Eddie Hearn them saw, well, damn. And Eddie Hearn admitted, hey, we were just looking to sell out just the lower bowl section. And then when the lower bowl section pretty much sold very well and they sold 9,000 tickets, they was like, oh, well, let's open up more sections. And they started to open up more sections. And I think that's smart to go, basically go in reverse instead of just saying, well, we're just going to automatically make 16,000 tickets available. No, what we're going to do is we're just gonna sell the lower bowl and see what we do. So as the fight started to sell, basically they opened up more sections. They started selling tickets in around October? Yeah, they made tickets available around October the 5th. So there you have it. So they had 2 months to sell this piece out, 2 months and some change. So they started to see, okay, this fight is selling very well. But then it just goes to show you where Tank and Leonard Ellerbe is, basically trying to downplay a great accomplishment, selling out the first combat sports event at the Chase Center. But to bring up how much ticket prices was, I thought we all about, making stuff affordable for families, especially in this time with all this uncertainty going on, and you sitting up here having the audacity to sit up there and try to, basically downgrade somebody that's basically selling affordable tickets. Weak move. But that's what they was trying to do, and it didn't work. And they should have got cooked for that. And I made sure that I cooked Team Tank Davis for that, and for that, because it was whack and it was weak. But at the end of the day, then here comes Leonard Ellerbe. And Leonard Ellerbe, he just flat out lying. And once again, anybody else that's pushing this narrative about the fight sold 50,000 pay-per-views, they lying too. If Eddie Hearn, who is in line and has a deal with DAZN, said that the fight did well, and Bill said the fight did well because they fight on DAZN, why would we believe Leonard Ellerbe and these other dudes? And then these content creators that are just flunkies and groupies, and this dudes that basically feed off tearing down black people and black fighters because they want to cater to racists who love to see black people attacking other black people because they're racist, and these black content creators are doing their work for them. Well, I just want to say, not on my channel. When I criticize somebody that look like me, I'm criticizing them, call it tough love or having an issue, but I'm not one of these dudes that constantly put out content tearing down black people and black fighters just because I want people that don't look like me to subscribe to my channel and tell me I'm doing a great job and this is one of their favorite channels. That says a lot about you and your personality. So if you are a white dude or a non-black that enjoy seeing a black man talk about people from his own community, says a lot about you. And that's just real talk and basically displays what type of person you are. So, not on my watch. But let's talk about this offer. So now you got people trying to be managers for Tank Davis. Let's talk about this $20 million offer that Eddie Hearn basically said that they offered to Tank Davis. The $20 million is guaranteed money. That's pretty much what you call the upfront money, just for signing the contract that you're guaranteed to get. And then the back end money based off pay-per-view sale. So Tank could make anywhere from 25 to $40 million. Now, to that dude that came on my channel lying, saying that Tank made $70 million off the Ryan Garcia fight, you a damn lie. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. So shut your ass up coming on my channel with that crap, because you don't know what you're talking about and you are full of it. But at the end of the day, people push these narratives because they got some kind of issue with Bill. But at the end of the day, I don't have no problem with what Bill is doing. I thought the whole idea was to celebrate brothers that's making sure that their kids don't get played. Bill is Devin's trainer and his manager. He may not, do things the way that certain people think he's supposed to do things. Yeah, Bill is not a suit and tie type of dude. But at the end of the day, he making stuff happen. He making sure that he get the best possible deal out there for his son. And say what you want to say, Devin Haney is looking for the best available fights out there. And don't try to downplay the Regis Prograis fight because, Like I said, several people duck Regis Prograis, you know, and had he fought Josh Taylor in the States, more than likely Regis would have got that nod, and then he would have been an undefeated fighter going into this fight with Devin Haney. So stop the cap. Stop playing these games. Stop playing these games. It wasn't a fake offer. It wasn't bunk. It wasn't bogus. It wasn't none of that. None of that stuff. It was a legit offer. Keep in mind, Eddie Hearn has a lot of resources. He has a lot of friends in high places. Keep in mind, well, you already know what Eddie Hearn looks like. You talking about you talking about pay-per-view, you talking about a live gate, you talking about sponsorship, you know. If you have a good team, you could just get a whole lot of what you would call extras pertaining to that fight with Devin Haney. And stop playing this game about he's guaranteed this amount of fight money versus that amount of fight money. At the end of the day, let's come with some facts. First of all, going into the Ryan Garcia fight, Tank was only guaranteed $5 million. Ryan Garcia was guaranteed two and some change, plus the back end, whatever the fight made off the pay-per-view. So the pay-per-view was very successful. You know, the pay-per-view did over 1 million buys. It far exceeded expectations. Now, keep in mind, for these people, once again, that's trying to make it look like Tank was getting so much money per fight. Well, this documented that Tank was complaining about the money that he was making before the Ryan Garcia fight. Okay, so he did hit the jackpot with the Ryan Garcia fight. And then Ryan Garcia says he wants his credit for helping make that fight a success. That's why he went at Ellie Setback for basically giving all the credit to Tank. Of course, to sell pay-per-views, you need a certain dance partner. You really do. But to sit up there and say that Devin and Tank wouldn't do good numbers, I think it's absurd. But then again, this is the model that's been getting pushed by the PBC. So once again, you can't put this strictly just on Abel Sanchez for saying black fighters don't sell. It's a lie. We all know, if you check the history books, some of the most successful pay-per-views in the history of boxing have taken place between two black fighters. Some of the most historic, as some would call some of the greatest fights in history, have taken place between black fighters. So as far as black fighters not selling, that's a lie. But then again, your guy Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, and Leonard Ellerbe been pushing that line. Those dudes. So why don't you guys? I ask this question once again: when are you guys gonna start coming after them instead of coming after me and other people that call this stuff out about the PBC? When y'all gonna get on them? So like I said, Leonard Ellerbe don't know what the hell he was talking about. At the end of the day, they just trying to downplay. They just trying to downplay the numbers and trying to downplay the success of Devin Haney, because at the end of the day, they got to come with a. And my thing is, why don't they come with a counter deal? And first of all, Tank is the one, and you Tank, and then you Tank fans were saying, oh, why does Tank have to make Devin Haney offer? Why don't they make him an offer? And then Leonard Ellerbe talked about, oh, well, he's going to be the challenger, and at the end of the day, the fight is going to be on Tank's turn. My thing is with Tank, if he that damn worried about Devin Haney's weight, and you Devin Haney haters is that worried about it, then Tank ain't who he say he is, or who he marketed to be. He called himself Tank Davis. Like I said, Tanks for the most part is, when it comes, is an unstoppable force. Because to be honest with you, what you think a battle ram is that the police use? That's really a tank. And instead of the stem shooting out missiles, they use it to bust up houses. But that's pretty much what a battling ram is. So once again, why are you calling yourself Tank if you worried about the weight? And then all this stuff. And then I heard this clown. He came on there talking about what Mario Barrios, when it came to that fight, Tank was talking about he was sick and all this kind of stuff. But I knew the excuses was just gonna come, because at the end of the day, that's what they do. That's what they do. You want to holler about racism and discrimination and all that and bigotry. Well, a lot of the bigotry and the discrimination and white supremacy come from those black people that's aligned with the PBC. Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, yeah, and I'm gonna say it too. Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, Al Heyman, those dudes act like a bunch of black Klansmen, because they look down on people from their own community. And like I said before, that's just how I feel. Al Heyman know a lot of this stuff be going on, and he does nothing. He says nothing, and he doesn't try to fix it. He doesn't like to do outside fights. You know, and then when we looking at the possibilities for Devin Haney in his next fight, we looking at some good fights that could possibly happen. But some of these fighters are on the PBC side. You already seen that trick that they did recently with Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. Doesn't matter how the overall fight turned out with De Los Santos and Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, it was supposed to be Frank Martin, and they basically talked Frank Martin out of that fight. They've been doing this for years. They've been doing this for years. Well, that's what I'm saying. You wasn't worried about Rolly's weight, but all of a sudden you were worried about Devin Haney's weight. It's cap. It's cap. And I don't have no problem with Bill Haney calling Leonard Ellerbe a Sambo, talking about somebody crossed the line. Hey, Leonard, well, I'm finna cross the line too. This ain't got nothing to do with Bill neither. A lot of y'all on the PBC side do be acting like a bunch of Sambos. All of y'all. Y'all sat up there and devalued Terrence Crawford. But the funny thing is, now all of a sudden you got these people in line with Devin Haney. But these were the same people that were trying to devalue Terrence Crawford. This is what the PBC do. And I'm calling out some of you inconsistent motherfuckers too as well. Y'all know who y'all are. Like I said, ain't nobody scared of y'all. I'm just keeping it a buck. This is what they do. They try to devalue fighters that's not aligned with the PBC. They did it to Terrence Crawford. Now they're doing it with Shakur Stevenson. No, that's the problem. That's the problem, KP. Leonard Ellerbe, Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather is a flunky too for Al Heyman. He another message boy. And like I said before, I respect Floyd as a fighter, but as a person, Floyd is not cool. Man told a bold-faced lie. Man said that Mexicans helped get him where he was. Said that we was the only ones who wasn't supporting him. And Floyd know damn well when he was fighting actively, his biggest supporters were from his own community. When he was an active fighter, I saw people have parties, barbershops having watch parties for him versus Ricky Hatton, him versus Arturo Gotti, him versus Sugar Shane Mosley. So for Floyd to sit up there and tell that bold-faced lie says a lot about him. Well, if that's the case, then Floyd, if black people didn't help you, didn't support you, anybody still got y'all receipts? Y'all old cable bills? Any of y'all still got y'all old cable bills from when y'all was ordering Floyd fights? Tell Floyd to give y'all money back. Demand a refund. Or send it to Floyd's social media accounts. Then give us back our money then. Give me back my $20 that I spent to watch you fight Miguel Cotto at I think at the AMC Theater in Stockton, California. Give me back my money, Floyd. Since us Negroes didn't help you. I don't even see how people could sit up there, and that was one of the most sickening things I ever heard Floyd say in his life. He flat up there and told a bold-faced lie. Told a bold-faced lie. Disrespected his black community. Then when they asked the man to give money to Africa, he said Africa ain't never did nothing for me, but he sure didn't have no problem sending supplies to, that had no problem going to help them. So that just goes to show you what type of dude Floyd is. Tell me that I'm lying. Somebody tell me that I'm lying. Tell me that I'm lying about Floyd Mayweather and how they get down and how they always try to, for real. They always try to demean other black people. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he sure did. Defended Donald Sterling, was having Justin Bieber walk him to the ring. Cause see, that's the thing about Floyd. He, like I said, and guess who he got that from? Guess who he learned that from? I keep telling y'all, Al Heyman don't give a damn about the black community. Al Heyman gave us the finger so many times. You have no idea. Like I said, they only made the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight because basically they had no choice. And then by the time they made the fight, and then when Showtime saw the numbers that it did, they wanted at least over 1 million pay-per-view buys, and it failed to do under 1 million because it took them too long. It took them too long to make the fight. Nah, he ain't no suspect. He guilty. Nah, that's like I said. You look at Floyd between 2010 and 2017, 2016, when he had his last professional fight. Floyd only attempted to fight pretty much two and a half black fighters if you want to include Miguel Cotto. But Miguel Cotto falls under the Latino Hispanic category because his last name is Cotto and he's from Puerto Rico. So Floyd got a history of not really wanting to fight brothers. Fight these flat-footed Mexicans that come forward where you basically can counter them all day. They don't have a skill set. They're going to come forward. They're defensively challenged. And you could just use angles to beat them. And good timing. Floyd knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, and that's why he chose to fight those type of dudes. But at the same time, we still was buying his pay-per-views. At the end of the day, Floyd, that was his moniker. That was the motto. He became Floyd Money Mayweather. He felt like he had took all the risks when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. So he figured that he would take the most unrisky fight, market it very well, play this so-called bad guy, and then get people to despise him enough to where they want him to lose so bad they would purchase his fight. And then he would prick primarily Mexicans because Mexicans are very tribal for the most part. About the whole Mexican pride and all. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I say this every day. Black people should be like that. You know? But I mean, at the end of the day, we so you know what I'm saying? We so damaged from what's been done to us, it's hard for that to happen. So it was a good game plan. Him, Floyd, and Al Heyman, they came with a good strategy. They came with a good 10-year strategy for Floyd to make a ton of money and take as less risk as possible. And it worked for Floyd. He never lost a fight, and he went on to become a Hall of Fame fighter. So it worked out for him. It worked out for him, but you still have question marks. You still have question marks surrounding his career because at the end of the day, yeah, he could have gave dudes like Sean Porter a shot. He could have gave Keith Thurman a shot. And the only reason why he fought Berto over a chick, allegedly. Because of his fragile ego. And we all know that Andre Berto wasn't what he was. He took a lot of damage in that Victor Ortiz fight. And then he took some damage in the Robert Guerrero fight. So we knew Andre Berto wasn't who he was after a while. Andre Berto had a very decent run. He was a solid fighter, but he couldn't have beat Floyd Mayweather at no time. And that's why Floyd was going to consider fighting Andre Berto when he saw him versus Victor Ortiz. But he was hoping that Victor Ortiz would win properly. And Victor Ortiz ended up winning that fight. So we've been seeing this for a while with them. But this is their MO. Is to be anti-black fighter. Do not put black fighters on the card. And the only reason why they started putting black fighters on their card, because as you can see, it's over with now. And people had to complain and say, hey man, why are you guys not featuring black fighters on your on your pay-per-view cards? Except possibly if you have one black fighter headlining the fight. And let's keep it a buck. Isn't this what they did with Errol Spence? Isn't this how they built Errol Spence up to be a so-called pay-per-view star? It started with the Mikey Garcia fight. Yeah, he went on to fight Sean Porter. They threw Sean Porter in, and no disrespect to Sean Porter, but then Danny Garcia, Latino. Ugas, Latino. Cuban, though. Then finally got to Terrence Crawford. But if it was up to them, they would have tried to make Errol Spence versus Canelo. They do not believe in putting a great marketing strategy behind black fighters. So that's why we are where we are now. But getting back to the Tank situation, it was a real offer. What's up, Callie? Don't let these people make dummies out of you. Don't let these people make dummies out of you. It was a real offer to Tank, and the PBC do what they always do. They turn it down. They reject it. All that's going to happen is, let's be honest. Anybody believe that Tank versus Frank Martin is going to do big numbers? Now, what they might try to do is and see, here's the thing, though. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you another reason why they going to Amazon. because Amazon gonna pretty much have the same system pretty much probably as DAZN. They're gonna say Tank did probably, they gonna sit up there and say Tank broke records if he fights Frank Martin, because Amazon probably ain't gonna release their pay-per-view numbers because they're a streaming service. So they're gonna throw whoever their closest flunkies is, whether it's people in the media or just some of their fighters, but the PBC have flunkies, so they don't sit up there and say, "Oh, well, this fight, oh, it was a smash hit, it was a success, it was a success. Oh my God, Tank did record-breaking numbers versus Isaac Cruz," and then you're gonna be like, I don't know about that. But that's gonna put them in a position to do that. But Leonard Ellerbe thought he was slick, trying to lie and say that the fight wasn't successful and tried to say that the fight didn't sell out. Like I said before, I was there. I was there. That place was packed. It was packed. Don't matter how much the tickets sell for. It don't matter if the tickets sell for $57,000 or $57. The fight was a sellout. It sold out. That's the type of sellout that you want to hear about. See, Floyd, Leonard Ellerbe, Al Heyman, those dudes are the wrong type of sellouts. Panderers. So like I said, Leonard Ellerbe, a.k.a. Sir Nose, he ain't nothing but a flunky and a message boy. Already had got his ass tossed out by Floyd before, and basically he went begging and crying to Al Heyman to get his job back. Well, that's what I'm saying, that Eddie Hearn got friends in high places. That was just for Tank signing the contract. The Saudis got stupid bread. Do you know they had the Red Sea Film Festival? And do you know they paid for celebrities just to make appearances there, flew them there, accommodated them at hotels and stuff? Do you know they had Will Smith there? Do you know they gave him $1 million just to come, allegedly, and they gave Gwyneth Paltrow more than that? $1 million just to come out there. I would have did it. They would have been like, "Town, you want to come cover this fight and we'll pay your expenses, pay for your plane and all this kind of stuff." I ain't got no passport, but I'm going to go get one. Gave the man $1 million just to show up. I mean, they got that. I'm talking about they got that. I'm talking about that bread. So when Eddie Hearn said that he got investors, like I said, they just didn't want to fight. That, for whatever reason. So all these dudes that's sitting up here lying, talking about, oh, it was a fake offer and all that stuff, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. You guys are lying. That $20 million was just for Tank signing the contract. Tank would have walked away probably with $50-60 million. Devin probably would have walked away with $30 million. But they didn't want to do the deal. Because at the same time, maybe it's something that Al Heyman see. He don't like sending his fighters to do cross-promotional fights, because a lot of time when he sends his fighters to do cross-promotional fights, they get their asses handed to them. What he likes to do is just save them and let them fight amongst each other. If he doesn't have to do business with Top Rank, Golden Boy, or Matchroom, then it's good for him. But at the same time, he has a lot of unhappy fighters sitting up at home wondering, well, when are we gonna get back in the ring? Well, I don't know. All I know is that Eddie Hearn said that they had investors that was willing to put up the money. He said he had investors, which means that the zone wasn't going to pay for the fight. He had people that was going to pay for the fight. Go to I think it's Fight Hub. I think it was Fight Hub, and Eddie Hearn said that they had investors lined up. Keep in mind, Take was the one that said make me an offer. Well, they made him an offer, and he didn't want it. Oh, it was the Saudis. Oh yeah, yeah. He was getting 20 million just for signing the contract. He probably would have got an additional. He would have probably got an additional 20, 30 million more. So, like I said before, man, these dudes that's sitting up here lying, talking about the offer was fake and all this kind of stuff, they don't know what they was talking about. And then you already know that the Saudis were going to put together a extravaganza going into the fight. I can't wait for next week. And yeah, right. Why don't he ask for some more money? Why don't he, instead of him saying, oh, but well, he lied and said that they didn't offer him no money. He said that they didn't talk to his people. But he said he the boss. So is he the boss or is Al Heyman the boss? He sits up there, he tweets and say, oh, Al Heyman didn't tell me about the deal with Steve Espinosa. Well, don't be surprised if I'm somewhere else. And this is what I'm saying. If everything is so gravy in the Navy and all good in the hood at the PBC, why Tank always threatening to leave? Oh, I already know that Shakur Stevenson was the real deal. I know that to be fact. But that's what they do. They talk their fighters out of fights. You mean to tell me he gonna get 20 million? No, for real. You mean to tell me he gonna get 20 million for a Cruz rematch? You mean to tell me he gonna get 20 million for Frank Martin? So when people sitting up saying that he gets a certain guaranteed, he ain't getting no 50 million per fight. I could tell you that's cap. Do you think Larry Holmes got the same amount of money for who did Larry Holmes fight? I forgot who Larry Holmes fought after Jerry Clooney, but he didn't get the same amount of money. It's a fight by fight thing. Do you think Floyd made $100 million fighting Andre Berto? Floyd didn't make the same amount of money fighting Canelo that he did with Robert the Ghost Guerrero. So just stop the cap. You dudes don't be knowing what you talking about. So I'm to sit up there and you have people trying to be managers and stuff for Tank Davis. They the problem why this boxing shit is the way it is. Nah, I know for a fact. I was told the real amount of money that Shakur Stevenson was offered for a Devin Haney fight. Nah, it wasn't. Nah, it wasn't gonna. It wasn't what people was putting out. That's a lie. And Bill Haney told me what the real number was, but it was more than what he was getting. It was gonna be his biggest payday to fight Devin Haney though, but it wasn't. It wasn't nowhere. It wasn't nowhere near. It was. It wasn't nowhere near $8 million. I know the real amount. I know the real amount. It wasn't no. I can tell you this much, Kelly. It wasn't no. It wasn't no 8 million. It wasn't nowhere near $8 million. Bill told me the real amount. It wasn't. It that was just something that people was putting out there. But a Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney fight ain't gonna happen anytime soon, because once again Shakur has such a bad outing that I witnessed in Las Vegas to where he really hurt himself. Um, he lost a lot of money just based off the performance, and then based off the fact, I don't want to say what the real ticket sales was, but I know exactly how many tickets he sold for that fight. But I don't want to put that out there because Shakur, he watches my channel, and I don't want him to get mad at me and all that kind of stuff. And because like I said, I have to deal with Shakur, I have to deal with Jay Prince now. I have to deal with them guys. And I don't know my life in danger type of thing, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, I have to talk to them dudes and stuff. And then, I don't want it to be uncomfortable. But like I said, I know exactly how many tickets that Shakur Stevenson sold for his last fight in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. I know exactly how many tickets he sold, and I can tell you right now it was bad. And we'll just leave it at that. And I was there. I covered that fight. And like I said before, both of them played a role in the fight being, well, basically a eyesore. Like I said, I never been to a fight where I literally had to wake up the security guards. I had to wake up 2 security guards that fell asleep. It was media member sleep. I know Shakur Stevenson said he was hurt, but he hurt his pockets as well. He hurt his pockets too with that performance. But with that being, I saw 2 security guards sleeping, and I told her like, you need to wake up. I said if somebody see you, I said and I was thinking to myself, if I was to record her and put this on my channel, she'd probably lose her job. But she probably got kids, and then it was another security guard. I was like, hey man, wake up, dude. He said, but the lady said, I can't help it, nothing's happening. Then I saw 2 media members sleep. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But that's how bad it was. Man, he sold less than that. They gave away, man, I'll put it to you this way. And I'm gonna close this video out. Hey, Callie, just hit me on the phone because I'm gonna be on my way to Sun Valley Mall. I gotta take back some jeans that I bought. But yeah, you know what's up. But I'll put it to you this way. They gave away more tickets than they sold. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And they would have been getting they would have been getting they gave away more tickets than they sold, and I'm telling you the truth. And I'll put it to you this way: they gave away a few thousand tickets. I would do that comedy. I would do my comedy set. You know how black people, when they tell you a elaborate story, because me and Callie, we both from East Oakland. Callie from Sobrani. I'm from the Murder Doves. But you know how y'all be in that circle, and this dude come up with some elaborate story just about whatever we talking about at the time, and then he'll sit up there and say, "I ain't lying," And then you'd be like, okay, he lying. Well, I'm not lying. I'll just put it to you this way. I'm not being dishonest. So I'm not going to hit y'all with I ain't lying. So I was there. It was so many empty seats. And I'm talking about it was so many empty seats at the T-Mobile Arena, which, by the way, everybody knows I can't stand the T-Mobile Arena. I do not like, and that was like my first event that I ever covered at the T-Mobile Arena. That's all I can say. They gave away more tickets than they sold. I'm talking about that place. I'm talking about that place. I'm like, damn. And it ain't no, I mean, I don't know. And then only for the fight to be a disaster, and only for the main event to be a disaster that it was, that made it even worse. Dude, I'll just I'll better be cool. But anyway, you guys, I'm finna get out of here, but I'll be back in a couple of hours. Appreciate you guys.